What's up, YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back at it again with another Destiny 2 video. And in this video, I am going to show you some gameplay of me going ahead and beating a mission called the Disgraced. So this is where I start off at, and we are in the beginning of the mission, and we are going to look for the waypoint and the icon. So this is my first group mission. I actually did not know this is, kind of how it is. Many of you who follow my channel know that I originally made content for the Division 2, so I am very used to, how groups work, what that looks like. But in this case, I'm sort of out of my element, and I didn't know what to expect. But this was a very interesting experience, being able to get on this bike and kind of work with the other players and just see what everybody else has going on with their classes, what skills that they can use, and what kind of enemies and things I can expect. The important part about all of this is that this is going to be a very, this group mission is going to be a snapshot of the game loop that you're going to inevitably have in, Destiny 2. If this game is anything like, the Division 2 or any other MMORPGs that I've ever played, you're going to be grouping up a lot. So this is going to be, kind of what you should expect, or what I should be expecting moving forward, as far as, what does that look like? How does that work? What am I going to be doing in a team to help support people? And what is part of my gameplay or part of my play style that I can maybe work on to, maybe build that group synergy with my squad mates. So we're here now, going into this room. I'm using the good old, my good old faithful reliable pistol, and we're kind of clearing out the content pretty easy so far. Nothing too crazy, and my teammates are shooting. But at this point, I guess for me, I know there's at least one other person, but I can't really see them, and I don't really know what they're doing. So it feels like I'm in here by myself. And I'm not saying that as a knock to the other players. It's just I'm not used to how group play works, and I'm used to being able to look at a just on the corner of my screen and being able to see oh, hey, so and so's health is low, or so and so is actually in the party, or you'll get some kind of notification that somebody had sort of dropped out. But I did see my teammate there, so I'm good to go, and we're just trying to clear the ads out here. So punching people, getting my proc up for my you'll see on the left hand side of the screen where I get amplified, and I am using my class skill to punch people so I can start my regen on my shields and don't die or anything like that. So that's the idea for now. As you can see, I'm chasing this guy around, and I'm missing a lot of my punches and stuff because I'm still not used to the how to play this game yet. I'm adapting pretty well, I would say, so far, but I'm still just kind of getting used to what I can do, what I can do when I can do it, and what range and everything that I need to be at to be able to do some of the things I'm trying to do. So that's what you kind of see me do there. So again, just trying to get these ads down, kill them out real fast, punch people in the face, and we are able to kind of get through this, me and Mr. Starbreaker here. And I'm sort of paying attention to the left side of my screen. I'm still have the amplified status effect, which is, I guess, a buff here for me. And, I didn't really get an opportunity to use it, but, just something for me that I'm saying to you all. But as a new player, it's something that I need to sort of keep in my mind, in the back of my head, where I am getting buffs from the class skills that I picked, and use that to my advantage and know where the buffs are, how long you have it, and just make sure that I am aware of what that is. And so it's at this point where I realize like I'm in this room, and this is kind of where I left off on one of my previous missions. And so I'm going to use this barrier here, and I think this is a good use of this skill where I can sort of line of sight behind the barrier and sort of pick off the targets. But as you can see there, I can, I still get smoked on the sides and everything, so I have to be careful and make sure that I'm still, keeping myself safe. So that's what I do here. So now at this point, I'm supercharged. Now I'm going to go, Thor Rambo style. I'm going to go out there and, do, as much damage as I possibly can. But now here's the downside. Now I'm out here in the open after my supercharge is worn off, and I die immediately. And so that's sort of what I was talking to you about. Thank God my teammate res me, where, I felt like the supercharge is, while it's incredibly powerful and I really love the skill so far, I know I get very reckless whenever I use that skill, and I need to watch that for later. Many of you know, who again watch my content, know I made a video talking about, the being overconfident, and not that I felt like I was being overconfident here at this point, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind and watch for my own self for the future. And I say that to you as well, just that, if you are playing Destiny 2 or any game for that matter, I know that whenever I started making YouTube videos, I was able to watch my own gameplay back to me, and there was a lot of things I had noticed after, looking at the gameplay that, hey, I need to, not do this, or I need to do that, or, so I just say all that to tell you that, if you're not clearing any content for whatever reason, I'm not necessarily suggesting that you record it or anything if that's, not your style or if that's not what you want to do. But, you might want to try and keep a mental notice of like what happened, why it happened, and, maybe see if you have a bunch of, like if you keep failing for the same reason over and over, kind of keep a mental note of that so you can improve for next time. So I use my barrier skill to stop the incoming damage. I'm able to sort of hit that enemy that's sort of standing up there, and now it's all three of us together, so that's pretty nice.
I'm reading dense hive signatures in a facility up ahead.
Navota is gathering a swarm.
We might be walking into a trap.
That's the gig. We carry the light where no one else can.
Alright, so we cleared that, and then we're going to the next part of the mission. As you heard, the hive, which I assume is these like bug type deals that are, kind of going around that we've been killing back and forth, are coming. So we're going to move a little bit further into, I guess it's a compound of some sort. And I am also going to start using my grenades a little bit more often. I think that I was looking at the talent tree. I guess it's a talent tree. I don't know what to call it. Class sub-skill thing. I don't know what to call it. But I was looking into it, and so there was something that it said that you can actually improve the grenades to do a lot of like AoE damage. And I think I really like that route. I don't know what kind of customize, like how much you can customize your class in here, but I think it actually would be really cool if you could do, I guess I'm a Titan, so I guess I'm more of a tank class where, I do have a lot of shields and stuff, but I'm also able to use grenades to, maybe do a lot of AoE damage. And the thought here is that if Destiny 2 is anything like most MMO RPGs I've ever played before, as a tank, you want to hit a lot of enemies to gain aggro. And if you have the aggro, they're going to be focused on you and your teammates, the DPSs, or, I guess the skill guys or whoever it may be, are able to pick them off while you're able to absorb a lot of damage. So that's my thought behind it. And I think the grenade actually comes with, I guess it's called the blind status effect, which is actually pretty cool. I actually also, again, really enjoy status effect builds in games. So anytime I play like an
Burned out the rest of his
MMORPG,
Otis hiding spots.
I used to play
Seems like
Guild
no one
Wars
to
2
run.
back in the day. I used the
Christmas
Necromancer
sandwiches.
class because you could put
Let's
like
do
a
a
lot
lap
of
party.
bleeds, a lot of
Get
poisons,
hands now, Guardian.
and then you could spread the status effects. Even in the Division 2, I use a lot of status effect builds, and so I do the
All
same.
right, take her down.
If given that option, I'm definitely gonna go that route because that really fits my play style. Burns, bleeds, whatever it may be, seems great. So then we get into this room, and we are going to town, and I'm just using the grenades to do this. And now here's the boss, I believe. So this is where things get crazy, and I really enjoy about like Destiny 2, where there's all this stuff that's going on, and my teammates are doing stuff, I'm doing stuff, and we are able to kind of use all our skills and everything together, and it's pretty hectic, and I really like this fast-paced gameplay. I was able to pick up I guess it's a sword of some sort. So I kind of switched to that just to kind of, maybe test it out a little bit. As well as I switch over to the submachine gun, which is apparently a exotic that I got for one of the quests I had completed. So I wanted to give myself that option to, although I do love the pistol, expand my horizons just a little bit and use some of the other weapons and see how I like it as well. So the submachine gun is actually really cool. I do like it. This one's a little bit unwieldy for me for right now, but I think if it's anything like the pistol, it's just one of those things where once I start to use it, I'm going to get a little bit better at using it and landing more of my shots, and maybe use it as a good backup weapon with the pistol as my primary. Again, I don't know how the weapon system is. I don't know if pistols are, even a viable weapon type for in-game, but I'm really enjoying just, using what I have available to me and, seeing how these weapons work, seeing how they feel, and, seeing what effect I can put on the enemies using these weapons. So I made a mistake from earlier. This is actually the boss. I did not realize that when I was talking about that earlier. So this is the boss, and this is the boss's room. So my first thought is, again, I don't know what to expect, but I do know it's probably a good idea to shoot down those ads and then get hits off the boss whenever I can and whenever possible. So that's the idea. So the three of us, we're here together. I guess my teammate uses that really awesome skill, and I hit up my barrier to sort of line of sight this guy. But I like, not only it wasn't the best use of that, because if I can't shoot through it at the back, that barrier, I'm assuming my teammates can't shoot through it either. And so how we were positioned, I really kind of blocked a lot of the shots that they could have made against the boss. So, just something to think about. Speaking of which, I used my own skill against the boss and see, again, this is just limit testing. If I hit the boss with this skill up close, does it stagger? What happens when, the biggest, baddest bosses, get hit with these skills, and seeing what their reactions are, just so I know for next time. So, nothing happens, I guess. Whenever I hit the boss, either I didn't charge skill right, or maybe, I'm gonna, of course, try and continue to hit bosses and enemies and see how they react to it, but it didn't really seem to have a whole big of an effect for me that time around whenever I used that skill against the boss. I only say that again because, if I'm playing the tank class and I punch the guy in the face, like if I stagger them, and the stagger aspect is going to be very important for me for my survivability, because if they're staggered, they're not shooting at you. And if they're not shooting at you, you get that chance to both regen your shields, but then also give your teammates get that chance to stack more damage against the enemy. So that's the reason why I'm sort of going on about seeing what the reaction is. Just as you see here, like that guy didn't get staggered, but I mean, he got hit, so that's great. But I'm noticing not a whole lot of enemies get staggered. Either they die outright or they just look at you crazy. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Now, in a previous video, you saw these enemies that you see in front of you right now. I actually tried to punch one of those enemies before in a different video, and they exploded on me in my face. And I have learned from my previous mistake. So anytime I see those guys, I'm definitely going to back up and then, try and take those guys out. So I just bring that to your attention as well, just to, kind of keep a mental thought about, enemy types and what they do and what they can't do. And otherwise you don't, just so you can avoid getting into the same situations that I did before, where I ended up being in a very embarrassing situation where I hit that guy and then suddenly it's a problem. This grenade that I just threw down there was actually really great use of that. It hit them in the AoE and did a lot of damage. I actually really like that. I think I might continue to go into that. And then I try and use this sword, but I didn't really, not too much was going on, so I just kind of switched back to my submachine gun and go and take these guys out. At this point, I just want to go ahead and say again, thank you for everybody who watches my videos. Appreciate that. Many of you seem to enjoy more of the Destiny 2 content that I'm coming out with rather than the Division, which is totally fine, no big deal. Unfortunately I go down there, but sometimes you can't help that. But that being said, I'm still going to continue to cover the Division. I'm still going to cover the Destiny 2 stuff here. And as long as, the whole purpose is to entertain you guys and, or girls, so whoever watches the content, if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see either in the Division 2 or Destiny 2, or, just, feel free to just leave a comment, or, just tell me what your thoughts are, or, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. And yeah, I hope that you continue to enjoy my content, and I'll just let the rest of this video play. This is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off, and I'll see you in Destiny 2. Peace.
They can rest easier now, thanks to you.
Couldn't have done it without you, Shaw.
Maybe. Don't sell yourself short. I see a spark in you, Guardian. Make sure you keep it safe. Don't let it get to your head, okay? This is only the beginning of your story.
Excellent work. Return to the tower.